Welcome to the deep dive. So we've got a really fascinating set of materials you sent over this week. On the surface, well, it looks like it's about learning English, right? Specifically, these excerpts from Confident English Speaking, Simple Present Practice. But when you actually start digging in, you see pretty quickly this isn't just grammar. Not at all. It feels more like a blueprint for tackling fear, especially in those high-stakes communication moments.
That's exactly it. I mean, the context is language learning anxiety, yeah, for non-native speakers.
Hmm.
But the psychology behind it, that's universal. The source itself had this really powerful title, Don't Let Anyone Laugh at Your English.
Wow. Yeah, that title just hits you. It tells you straight away the real battle isn't the language itself. Well, it's emotional, isn't it? Like getting over the shame, the fear of being judged, all that anxiety that just freezes you up, stops you using what you already know.
And our mission here really is to unpack how this material does that. It has this kind of dual approach. It blends very specific language practice using the simple present tense with some really strong motivational messages. We want to figure out why putting those two things together is presented as, the secret sauce for building real confidence. Unstoppable confidence, even.
Okay, let's dive into that first part then, the psychology bit. The source just jumps right in, tackling those big anxieties head on, the ones anyone feels when they're trying to communicate something important and feel a bit exposed, that what if I mess up feeling? Or even worse, what if people laugh?
Yeah, the fear of social risk, it's huge. And this material, it tries to neutralize that straight away.
Yeah.
By normalizing imperfection. It gives these really explicit reminders, things that honestly should be basic for any kind of learning. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's perfect. And maybe more importantly, everyone makes mistakes. Even native speakers mess up sometimes.
Right, and that just changes the whole game, doesn't it? It sort of defangs the mistake, takes away its power. If someone who speaks the language fluently can slip up without, major drama, why should a learner be paralyzed by it?
Exactly. We often hold ourselves to this impossible standard, especially when we're learning.
Yeah.
But perfection, it just stops you in your tracks. The source is really clear on this. The main goal isn't getting every word perfect. It's about communicating. The most important thing, it says, is just keep talking, keep trying.
And if you don't talk, you don't learn. You don't grow. It sets up this necessary conflict almost. You learn by doing it, by using the language or performing the task, whatever it is, not by staying quiet and preparing forever. The real learning kicks in only when you actually, put it into action.
That's such a critical point for learning anything, really, any field. If you wait until you feel perfectly ready, well, you'll probably never act. You won't get that mastery. This material really pushes for action, even if it's messy, because that action is the engine. It's how you make progress. It sort of tells you, hey, mistakes are just data. Learn from them. They're not. Yeah. They're not you failing as a person.
Yeah, that totally shifts the focus away from worrying about performance and towards just consistent effort, showing up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so if fear is the wall, how does the source actually help you start climbing over it? Let's look at the practice stuff. Moving into that second part, they do something really quite smart with the simple present tense. Linguistically, we use that tense for habits, routines, things that are generally true or happen regularly.
It's a very clever structural move.
Yeah.
Because when you embed these positive actions into that specific grammar, you're basically training your brain subtly to see these actions as normal, as routine, as facts about you, not just things you hope to do, but things you do. It turns the practice itself into a kind of belief system, makes it feel like a regular state of being.
Okay, let's get specific. What are the examples they use? There are 6, right? All about routine growth, using that simple present. I speak English every day. Okay, habit. You speak English with confidence. Interesting framing there. We learn new words every week. Routine learning. He studies hard. Consistent effort. She practices pronunciation. Another regular action. And they listen to English podcasts. Daily exposure.
See, they're all descriptions of consistent, ongoing behavior. They're setting up this framework of daily habits, making it feel normal, factual.
Right. And this is where it gets really interesting, like you said, looking at the structure. They could have easily used the future tense for the motivation part, like, I will feel confident. But they stick with the simple present. Why? Why is making it seem like a present fact so important here?
Well, think about it. If you say, I will be confident, you're kind of underlining that you aren't confident now. It's still a goal out there somewhere. But by switching immediately to the simple present in that next section, they add some motivation part.
Hmm.
They make you declare confidence as something you possess right now,
Hmm.
a current reality.
Ah. So the grammar practice becomes a confidence practice. Belief as a daily habit. Wow. And this section uses that exact same structure, that same tense, for purely internal stuff. Beliefs.
Exactly right. You see these powerful statements about self-belief presented as simple facts. I believe in myself.
Hmm.
I don't stop when it's hard. That's huge. It frames resilience as a current state. I grow every day, and I make progress step by step. The structure itself, the simple present, is teaching your mind that confidence isn't some special event. It's a habit. It's a routine truth. Just like speaking every day or studying is a truth. It's a really deep connection they're making, linking consistent action on the outside to consistent belief on the inside.
It makes confidence feel, well, non-negotiable. Like you're not aiming for it someday. You're stating it as a fact about yourself right now, today.
Precisely. And to make this structural point really land, the material then gives us this great little case study, a real-life example. It's the story of Maria from Brazil. And her story just perfectly illustrates that psychological shift we've been talking about.
Okay, Maria. So she faced those exact pressures, right? Learning English online. And yeah, like lots of people, she had others laugh sometimes when she made mistakes. It happens. But it's how she reacted to that judgment. That's the core of the message here.
hmm She didn't shrink away. She didn't give up.
Mm.
Her reason for learning the communication goal was just stronger than her fear of looking silly. There's this one quote. This is the line you really need to remember from her story. Maria said, I speak English to communicate, not to be perfect.
Boom. That's it, isn't it? The ultimate mindset shift. She just moves the goalposts completely. Success isn't about perfect grammar anymore. It's about, did I connect with another person? Did we understand each other?
Right. And it's crucial to look at what happened next.
Yeah.
Maria didn't let the laughter stop her. And the source makes a point of saying she now works at an international company. And there, everyone respects her confidence. The material is very clearly showing that confidence, that attitude, it leads to real-world results.
Okay, but let me just, push back slightly here. Play devil's advocate for a second. What if Maria's grammar was just awful, like truly incomprehensible? Would confidence alone really have been enough? Does the source talk about like a minimum level you need?
That's a really important question. And I think what the source is doing here is setting up a kind of hierarchy. Yes, you obviously need a functional baseline of grammar to actually get your meaning across. That's necessary.
Hmm?
But the willingness to use that baseline, even if it's imperfect, that's presented as the most important thing, the first hurdle. The source seems to suggest that most people who get stuck aren't stuck because they know nothing. They're stuck because they're afraid to use what they do know. So confidence becomes the key. It's the fuel that lets your existing knowledge, flaws and all, actually do its job in the real world. Without that confidence, even perfect grammar just stays locked inside your head, silent.
Got it. So the main message is that the mental game, the resilience, that's more critical than chasing absolute linguistic perfection. Because confidence is what bridges the gap between knowing something and actually applying it. Like the source says right out, confidence speaks louder than grammar.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've unpacked the fear. We've looked at the tool they use, that simple present affirmation thing. So what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean for you listening? For anyone trying to learn something complex, whether it's a language or a new job skill or, I don't know, understanding a new field?
Well, the material really brings it back to the individual at the end. It reinforces that this whole journey, it's ongoing. It needs active, self-driven motivation. And so it gives this final set of 4 affirmations for your own daily routine, basically. And notice they all stick to that simple present pattern. I speak English every day. Repetition. I don't stop learning. Continuous process. I am proud of my progress. Acknowledging growth. And bringing it full circle, I speak English confidently. Back to that core belief.
Yeah, those phrases really hammer home that idea of a continuous cycle. Learning, applying, feeling good about it, which fuels more learning. Progress and pride become habits too.
hmm And then the source zooms out to the why, the ultimate payoff. It clarifies your motivation. It says, look, you're not learning this stuff just to impress people. That's not the point. You're learning it to connect with others, to grow personally and professionally. And fundamentally, you're learning it to open doors, create opportunities. Confidence, in this view, is the key that unlocks the value of whatever knowledge you have. It turns it from just data sitting in your brain into something active, a tool you can use to build things in the world.
So, our final synthesis, pulling it all together from this deep dive, it's actually pretty profound. The best learning resources, the best lessons, maybe, they combine the how-to, the practical mechanics, with a really strong psychological framework. They don't just teach you rules, they teach you how to believe in your own ability to use those rules effectively. Success isn't defined by getting everything perfect first time. It's defined by determined, consistent effort and celebrating that effort daily through that kind of self-affirmation.
Yeah.
We started off looking at what seemed like a simple language exercise, and we ended up with, well, basically a blueprint for building confidence that you could apply almost anywhere. The key takeaways feel really clear. Speak up. Use what you know. Be confident. And treat mistakes not as failures, but as necessary steps. Steps towards connecting, towards growing. And never forget, like Material says, your ability, whatever it is you're working on, it is powerful.
And if we really take that core idea seriously, that confidence and connection matter more than chasing isolated perfection, it leaves us with a pretty interesting question to think about this week. For you listening, if confidence is treated as a daily habit, something you practice, not a destination you finally arrive at, how does that fundamentally change the way you actually prepare? How do you prepare for your next, maybe slightly scary professional chat or presentation or social interaction?
Are you prepping for perfection, or are you prepping for consistent, confident action? Definitely something to chew on. Until our next deep dive, thanks for joining us.